Hey guys, I'm back 2 days in a row, but we got a new guest. Well, he's not new. He's been on here before. Michael Hill. We talk about a lot of cool stuff, a lot of NFT talk. It's been real hot and hyped up, and he's got a lot of knowledge in a lot of different realms in the crypto sphere. Talk a little DeFi. We even talk a little bit of legacy, but mainly your meme stocks like GameStop and BlackBerry, and some fun things. And Jack Dorsey's tweet selling for $2.5 million. I know, it's crazy, but it's fun. And remember, none of this is financial advice. So if you take it as financial advice, that's your own fault. We're just here for the fun of it, talking about the crypto ecosphere and the legacy ecosphere, and anything that we say here is for educational purposes only. So trade at your own risk and have fun. Hey guys, round two, second day in a row. We're going to do a podcast today. I got Michael Hill on. We've had him before. Guy is a wealth of knowledge. Wealth of knowledge. And I'm Nate Harper, obviously. But we got some cool stuff to talk about today. So let's get right in it, because we're talking about some GameStop. Let's start with that, and then we'll get heavy crypto. I know a lot of people are like, give me crypto. So you're in GameStop.
I think GameStop's acting like crypto at the moment, which is an interesting crossover between legacy market and crypto markets. You know, it's I can remember back in the 2017 thing. What was it? It was the tulip bulb.
Oh yeah.
Rush, right?
Yeah.
That's what they compared it all to. And I think GameStop has a lot of similar market.
Anything that goes up a lot really fast, they go, oh, it's a tulip market. Mm-hmm. So regardless, I mean, GameStop's been ridiculous. So
yeah, it's ridiculous, but for so many weird reasons that I don't think you can predict. Well, obviously somebody did, but including me. But yeah, it's just the meme stock. I think the meme stock is the gray area between legacy and crypto.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people out there who made a bunch of money in crypto and want to make a stand.
Well, the whole story about it is, I mean, we've talked about it before, is the open shorts were ridiculous. I think one company had 140% of the short options that were on it. I think overall in the market, it was like 300% of the actual value of the company itself was in shorts. So that's high. I mean, in reality, when you think about it, how's that possible? So I think that kind of teed off a lot of the stuff that went down. I know GameStop just recently, well, moving forward. So then it ripped up. We had the Wall Street bets. They came through and they were like, look, let's
Mr. DFV.
Yes. let's hammer GameStop. Everybody buy it and hold it. And they had the whole meme of diamond hands and paper hands came out, and
I just saw that there's a bunch of graffiti has popped up all over the country and all over the world of the Wall Street bets icon dude.
Oh yeah,
it just keep popping up everywhere.
Roaring Kitty.
It's like is it Roaring Kitty? No, it's
Roaring
the guy
Kitty.
with the blonde hair.
The blonde hair.
Dark sunglasses.
Oh yeah. No, Roaring Kitty is the other. There's a whole bunch of the mods, right?
Right.
So yeah.
Those guys. But just to point out, my magic number for this morning is 275.
You're getting close, man.
Yeah,
getting close.
If I got a sell order at 275, and I got in at 42, I think.
Oh, it's looking pretty nice on the 4 hour. Let's look at the 1 hour. Oh, you might hit it today. You might hit that today, man.
I think we're going to. I think that's the Wall Street Bets plan anyway, is to try and get over 300 today.
So they're still pushing it.
Oh yeah,
they
every day. If you live on Reddit, there's a stickied thread. It's the GME mega thread. It comes out every morning. It's sticky till about 9:45 in the morning, and that's where they're. A lot of their chatter is, and apparently there's a lot of meme stock anti-bots that are trying to move that movement into other stocks away from GameStop.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I mean, it's it's not going to run technically. So for me, trying to do any technical analysis on it, it's like just get on the wave and ride the wave, right?
Well, here's an interesting thing. So I do have a sell order at 475 as well.
I mean, it's possible if they push it the right way. I mean, this red line here, that's basically where that big close was, and you can see a lot of the action that's going through there. So realistically, there's probably some bots that are trading it, and there's going to be some heavy, buy sell order in that range and some volatility once you get up into there. Break it and actually have a little close above it. And that might be some rocket fuel to get to there.
So it's interesting, actually, because I'm thinking back to a conversation I think we had probably 18 months ago. I think if you look back on the Discord, you can see some of the really early stuff about closing the gaps.
Oh, yeah.
And I see these two big gaps right here.
These gaps here?
And I'm interested, does it need to close?
It's closed.
Does it need to close both, though?
So in a market like this, I wouldn't look at it as a technical side of close them. So... if you look on this, there's the gaps on the January 26th, and then there's the gap here, which both of those have been closed. If you look at the price action,
now,
you have this gap that was on the 24th of February. 2 days later, it closed, right? But then it ripped back up. So I think you might have a tiny one there, but I don't know. I wouldn't really worry about gaps on this one. Usually gaps are great when you see power earnings, right? So you see they get a really good earnings score and they gap up, right? And that is, you'll a lot of times see the gap up and then kind of the sell off afterwards. But that gap usually doesn't get filled, so you can watch that consolidation afterwards if you weren't in beforehand, and it's a great entry point to go forward because they have the earnings and everybody's like, yay, everything's gonna go great, and you usually get a few couple quarters in a row, depending on how good they were, that it'll keep going up. So that's a fun one to watch. Gaps, if you look at it, get hammered because of earnings. A lot of times those gaps will get filled because they'll drop so hard down below, unless it's some horrible news. We see it a lot in the pharmaceuticals. Like they have some drug, right, that goes, oh, it didn't work right, and they get this huge drop, falls out. And then it again, on vice versa, it consolidates on the bottom. You buy in that range there. Well, they're not going out of business. They're just changing their program, and 2, 3, 4, quarters down the road, they have other stuff that's on there. They don't put all of their eggs in one basket, and all of a sudden you have some other stuff coming out, and then boom, it rises back up, fills that gap.
Envy with their big lawsuit.
Yes,
they dropped out that gap, and then they jumped back up that gap.
Well, they had like 10 gaps. Like they had that just drop for days and days. What was that ticker?
That was INVVY. Envy.
Oh,
it's
two V's.
It's in Divior, I think. Yeah, in Divior.
Yeah, I haven't looked at this one in a while because I made
look at all those gaps.
Because I made a bunch of money on this guy.
So many gaps. Yeah, I know. Oh, by the way, I was the one who gave you that.
I know. I know. Well, when we watched it, and as it was coming down into the low area in 2019 into 20, this is where I bought some in a couple different avenues. So on my personal side, and then I have a joint account with Jeremy, and we talked about it before. And then I was bear hunting literally a year ago in May.
Right,
I was bear hunting when it just ripped up, and I was like, looking at I was like, holy crap, this thing's going crazy. I sold like half of it, as it had like tripled or something along those lines, and then a few days down the road, it like 10x'd in a matter of days, man.
But it's one of those old stock rules, isn't it? It's like buy the rumor, sell the news, or whatever.
100%.
100%. You can see it right there in May. Unfortunately, because this was a regulatory issue where they settled with the federal government, there wasn't really rumor. It was just the news came out, and it ripped so hard up.
Yeah, and it was, that was the thing, we were watching. They had a whole nother, what was it? I can't remember the name of the drug that they had coming out, but they had another one, and it was, it was really hyped to come out, and then they finished the regulatory thing with the U.S. government, and it hadn't popped yet, which was amazing. It kind of was like there, and then a little bit after that, then it just started going. I saw that volume. That was a great one. That was a good one.
Has it still got any legs? Because it looks like it's retraced a little bit down to 8.6. I mean, what was it? What was its high? Jeez,
30, almost 40, 30. Oh, it hit 40, I think. Let's see here. 40, exactly, on the nose. So hit 40 on the nose. It's sitting at 868, I mean, there's some. I mean, depending on what's going on there, I have to research it again. It might be a good point in time to kind of look at getting back in and running another wave with that one. So, but that volatility, and this is on the weekly, so you're looking at a month, 6 week time frame of just like ridiculous volatility.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a fun one, definitely.
Good one.
One of the things. So moving, unless you have some more on the traditional legacy side.
No, the only one I would mention is that I think there's a lot of activity and interest around BlackBerry right now.
Oh yeah, I lost money on the BlackBerry one with the whole Wall Street.
I think it's a
deal.
longer. I think it's a longer hold than that, to be honest. And I mean, I do think that they have a lot of security contracts.
So they actually have something going on.
Yeah, so they actually have something. This is a hybrid meme stock with probably some pretty decent technical.
Yeah.
Foundation behind it. And obviously, it's been around for a really, really long time, and technology companies don't tend to stop innovating. So,
well, this is. I mean, actually, when I look at the price action on here, outside of it going ridiculously crazy, the retests of certain highs is nice to see. I might look in this a little bit more with some consolidation in from that $10 to $9 range, unless it just rips up out of there. But a little bit more consolidation here, in the next
I will
few
say,
days.
I mean, I have a position in BlackBerry. I don't intend. It's not a short thing for me. I think I'm going to hold it for a while.
Okay.
See where it goes.
Yeah, I we're going to talk about a lot of this legacy stuff. I literally have 2 legacy holdings right now that are non-crypto.
Wow.
2.
Which ones?
I have SGSI.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the one that in the Discord I'm like, I'm buying this. I have no clue what it does, but technically it looks amazing. With this, it was right down here in this bottom range,
right?
And then
is that a double bottom down there? Is that what you're
kind of double ball, almost wanting to be an inverse head and shoulders? There's just a lot of consolidation. You see the volume really started to pick up at this lower range, right? And so volume precedes price, and so for me it was great. I got into it, 72 cents or 71 cents, or sorry, 7.7 or 7.1 cents. So
how did they still trade it? Oh, I guess it's market cap rather than.
Yeah, and it ripped up. I mean, obviously it's at 45 cents, so I'm still holding on. I sold half of it, and I'm just holding on to the rest, just letting it ride. And then Ocugen, I've been sitting on that one for a while because I sold half of it back in this range, and the rest is up here, and it's just.
Yeah, you see that
doing its thing.
You see where that little teal line is?
Yeah.
You see the bottom one? That's where I sold it.
That's perfect. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Sell the bottom by the top.
I think I thought I bought it over there on that orange line.
That's awesome, man. You're doing really, really good.
I know, right?
Hey, all the training has paid off.
It sat there for a while. I was like, I don't even know if this thing's going to do anything. I'm just going to dump it and put it somewhere else. But
yeah, well, this one had big news. It came out with the whole virus. They're doing some stuff in India with a vaccine and that kind of stuff. So that's what really ripped them up. I liked them before, technically, and just some other things. So
you know me, I love biotechs. My watch list on my Robinhood is just pure biotech.
Biotech.
It's, events like COVID and a global pandemic tend to attract a lot of innovation and investment and amazing stuff coming out of
for sure. And I think
biotechnology,
if anything's going to compete with the crypto world, it's going to be the biotech with the stuff that's coming out for sure. There's so much cool science coming out. Just look at the vaccine this year, how they made it and distributed that kind of stuff, and then everything else in between.
It's huge global collaboration of people, and it's amazing.
We got a couple people in Discord that are very focused on the diabetes, type 1 diabetes type of stuff, and specifically with kids, and how that's going to get delivered. And there's a few companies out there that are pretty cool. I know Sens is one, and then Blackburn always talks about one. I can't remember the name of it. He'd have to post it on there, but it's a pretty cool one. It's a spray that comes out instead of an actual shot. So they can just apparently spray it. I don't think it's actually released yet, but that's one to look at in that sense. Kind of fun ones to watch. Like you said, the innovation that's going to be there in the next, year to 10 years is going to be unprecedented with our technology. So those are fun, and it'll probably rip a lot.
Totally. Yeah, my traditional exposure right now is mostly biotechs, and then I've got some So Beam Therapeutics is one I just jumped into.
Beam, huh?
Beam Therapeutics, and then I've got my meme stocks, GME and BD. I've got GoodWorks, which is just a feel-good thing for me. And then Mind Technology.
Beam looks good on this. They're below the cloud and everything, but they're sitting with this this wick down.
Mm-hmm.
Looks pretty nice. I don't know what they do or why.
Well, so this actually came from Wall Street Bets. I hate to admit that.
Hey, why?
Publicly.
Why though? It's like, there's nothing wrong with Wall Street Bets. Wall Street Bets, outside of the fact that they get the bad press because there's just a bunch of people jumping in on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some stuff that they're actually putting in there that's research that can be an actual good stock to buy. They're not just like, hey, look at this one's 5 cents. Let's all buy it and jump it up $1 million.
Well, the reason why I had to caveat that with the Wall Street Bets source is because somewhere in that thread there was a claim that Beam actually do have a cure for cancer, which is a huge claim.
Well, there you go.
And I was like, well, what if they do? I could pick 5 of these up and see whether or not, or 10 of these up and see whether they do anything over the next 5-10 years. But yeah, my historically, my traditional has always been biotechs, especially in the genetics stuff.
Yeah. I'm riding the crypto wave until, for another minimum, 8-9 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll probably start to diversify out of that and into some other things. But
I mean, I'm heavily weighted into crypto,
yeah.
and it's more than like a Pareto 80-20.
I mean, we all know the riot.
10, so.
Yeah, I think you had a nice riot call that played out well.
You
still have one going?
Still have one. It doesn't
Nice.
expire till 2023. So
Look at you go.
You got Bitcoin hit 300 grand between now and then. That riot call is going to be very valuable.
Yeah.
The other ones I have the 8 legs black tips. BBKF.
Argo blockchain.
Argo blockchain.
Yeah, Argo's got a lot of cool news coming out, man.
I got Crof as well.
Yeah, I like that one too. That one is a heavy in the DeFi world. Nobody knows about DeFi. Nobody knows about that one. And it was the company itself is interesting in how they operate.
Right.
I think that one's a dark horse. It's not gonna rise as much and fall as much as your riots and Maras and that kind of stuff in the short term.
Right.
Give it 6 months from now, and it's gonna be. I think that one's gonna be a rock and roll one, dude.
I agree, and that's I worked hard to get into it. You can only buy it on TD Ameritrade through the OTC market. I can remember me and Wilson from the Discord. We were in Black Butte skiing, and we were both desperately waiting for our deposits to clear at TD Ameritrade, so we could Crof up at like 220. But I'm going to sit on that for a while.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. I mean, I have obviously my riot call was amazing. That from last year, this year, that one's sitting nice, big part of my portfolio. I've got Mara, the KROEF, CROF.
Yep.
I don't have BARF anymore, which is Bitfarms.
Right.
I had them, made some money, sold it. I just was trying to narrow down a lot of my overall holdings. So I didn't have so many, right? And a lot of people are like, well, you're going to miss out on the one that goes X, 10X or 100X or whatever it is. And
trust me, I don't think he missed out on any of those.
No, I think there's going to be enough in there. I've got enough that it's going to do quite well. I'm not too worried about it. Galaxy Digital Holdings. This is an interesting one. Again, this is one. I like Blackbird in the Discord. Blackbird, look, no offense to anybody else in the Discord that's listening to this, because there's at least 3 of you that'll listen.
Uh-huh.
But that guy does more research than anybody I know. Like, I've been talking to him about crypto for a long time. I'm sure you have too. Mm-hmm. And he just recently, late last year, decided that he's going into crypto. And he doesn't dip his toe. The dude jumped off the high dive, full flip in, and just made a splash. Mm-hmm. Like, holy crap, dude. That guy sits down and will research. I got in trouble from his wife. His wife got angry at me. Not really, but she looked at me and gave me the stern look and said, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
For giving him a hobby.
Because he literally is up before her, in bed after her, and is...
Well, you can see it on his Discord posts as well. Everything he posts has got, there's a reason for it being posted, and he gives you the backstory, and he's like, this is this is the source material I'm using, and you know, there's conclusions that I'm drawing. You take from it whatever you want, but hey, I'm going to share this. This is a tip. I think this is a great opportunity, and I mean, I know Chris reasonably well, and yeah, I want to follow that dude.
He 100% does that. Research that he's been doing is great. Like he digs deep, and his whole goal is he's like, yeah, everybody knows about Riot, everybody knows about Mara, you know, in the blockchain legacy side. What's the other ones? That's, you know, KROEF came out, Argo blockchain. You know, these are the up and coming ones they're pretty exciting. GWAC, which is interesting, but that one, unfortunately, they're not starting until 2021. I think they still get some push with you know, just being in crypto, but their whole being the largest miner in the U.S. by far. They're actually going to have more megawatts than any other of your mining companies, including, you know, Riot and Mara and all those. But they don't start until 2021. So it's like, okay,
I got in at 10.71 on GWAC.
Yeah, I think I'm at 10.24, like my overall. I actually ended up selling, it was up a little bit, and I ended up selling half of it because I got pretty overexposed into it, at like a 2% gain. I was like, okay, I'm going to slow down on that one. And then I got into Galaxy. The reason I like Galaxy, well, there's a lot of reasons. One, again, talking with Blackman, I knew about Galaxy beforehand, but I never really did the full deep dive like he did. Mm-hmm. But they are valued at, I think, $2 billion.
Right.
And they
says right, the market cap is 1.3.
1.3. And they are, I think they do. I have to get the actual information, but they are close to like the income generated and what they actually do as a business to Coinbase. Wow. And Coinbase is valued at $100 billion. So there's a gap somewhere. There's something missing, right? Mm-hmm. The IPO is supposed to come out with Coinbase and be $100 billion. So if Galaxy is only $2 billion, is it the fact that Coinbase is overrated, or is Galaxy underrated, or somewhere in between?
That's a really good question. I think probably the answer is probably a bit of both, to be honest. I mean, obviously Coinbase, you know, 100 billion is a huge.
Yeah, I mean, come on. If they're 100 billion, what's Binance worth?
Right. Well, I mean, it all comes back down to, I mean,
Binance is $1 trillion company if Coinbase is 100 billion.
Right. But these things are going together nicely because these are regulated markets, or they are creeping into regulated markets in order to obviously list.
Oh, for sure.
Then you've got SEC type filings that really dig deep into what your business does and how it works, and whether or not every single thing you do is ultimately legit and blessed by the federal government in order to trade, or not. It depends on where you buy them. I mean, you can buy OTC market stuff, which, you know, Crof, I think is registered in the Isle of Man, right? So
that's where you got to register, man.
Right. But yeah, that's interesting. I think Coinbase is probably over inflated a little bit, but then, you know, I say that I still have conversations pretty much daily with people who are like, oh man, can you teach me how to do the crypto thing? You know, they're still not, you know, people want to be here and they want to do it and they want to make money and they want to just be included and involved, but there really isn't like that. You know, I'm sure there's a cryptocurrency for dummies book out there somewhere.
There is. There literally is a cryptocurrency for dummies book.
I'm sure there is. And but I mean, it's written from what perspective? Is the perspective you know, our Discord really kind of takes is.
They have this. Where the heck is? Oh, here we go. So this is CoinGecko. Mm-hmm. So they're doing this little. If you log in, you get your little candies and whatever. You get some discounts.
See, some of this makes me want to puke.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's
cutesy stuff, the pancake swaps and all the unique.
Oh, we're gonna talk about Pancake. Here's your book, How to Bitcoin.
There you go. How to DeFi. Look at
How to DeFi. These are some of the rewards you can get from them, which is, I mean, cool in a sense, but also GALA's doing their thing with CoinGecko. That's how I found out about it. But it's like, yeah, it's just. That's where the NFT side comes in. That gets a little ridiculous, right? Like,
but I mean, ultimately, it's going back to its roots a little bit. I mean, CryptoKitties, etc. is all this cute stuff. It's not to my taste personally. I mean, I'll engage with it. I got myself on PancakeSwap, dropped a couple of those cakes in the lottery, but and then I put some stuff in some farms, and I think it's very interesting.
Well, the farming is interesting. So I've been doing that too. So I'm, you know, farming your cake BNB situation. I was doing a bunch of other ones as well. You know, looking at the farm side, it gets a little ridiculous.
Well, actually, hit the home tab real fast on Pancake.
Let's see if it's okay. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean this number here on the bottom left earn up to
748%.
Yesterday it was 958.
Oh, well, I got into one that was
it goes up and down. Yeah.
It was 1100%.
But look at this. Look at the lottery on there, and I can remember back in 2018. You know, it was there was a lot of ETH lotteries around. You'd play like pirate game or whatever. You just attach your MetaMask wallet, and it would basically just drain all your ETH out.
Yeah. Like, oh, good job.
Yeah, it was like that was fun.
I mean, this is a lottery. They do this daily, I think, right?
Yeah, no, it's every 9 hours, I think.
Oh, is it every 9 hours?
Or maybe every 12 hours.
So it's 20,000 cake is the total pot, right?
Yeah.
So if you match 4, you get 10,000.
Or you get to split 10,348 with however.
With however many get the 4,
whoever
right?
got 4.
But still, I mean, I think cake's at $13 right now. Yeah, $13.50.
Yeah, I had a nice little bump this morning.
Right along with BNB, man. I changed a good portion of my ETH over to BNB a while ago just because.
I have a nice 50-50 on BNB and ETH.
Nice. That's
and
good.
I was actually real grateful for that choice over the weekend.
Yeah, ETH.
When ETH popped up.
ETH was nice.
$300
But look at these farms, man. I mean, when you look at some of the stuff that's on here, you know, I'm doing the cake and BNB. I was in this Dexy. I don't even. Again, I don't know what any of these do outside of IOTA X. I was on that one. That's an old school coin, which apparently you can farm it, which I did for a little while. Right. Earned some cake off of it. But
I like the fact you didn't call it a boomer coin. I appreciate that.
I almost did. Sorry, almost did.
Stop yourself, Kurt. But if you scroll right down to the bottom on this page, like I think isn't there like this call out for like, hey, do you want to start your own farm? There was.
I'm sure it's on here somewhere.
It is on this. Oh, you're on Teams and Profile. You go to farms.
Oh.
I think
I was on farms. What happened here?
It could be a web design error. Yeah, it's picking up the wrong.
Yeah, so here's farms. So, it just rolls me down to.
Yeah, that's
weird. I don't know.
That's weird.
They're gonna take all my BNB. But I mean, the whole reason BNB and Binance Smart Chain was getting a lot of stuff from ETH is because ETH fees are freaking ridiculous.
I know, right?
I closed out a bunch of my DeFi holdings through Matcha yesterday, and I think it was $30 some odd average, average price for any of those swaps that went on there.
I tried to unwrap some ETH from on OpenSea, and I think the original thing was like $45 to
Good
do it.
Lord, just to unwrap it.
Just to unwrap it.
That's ridiculous. And so, I mean, that's why I changed over a lot of my ETH into BNB for the short term until you get ETH to, fix their issues. I think BNB outperforms ETH. So I'll go right back to ETH. I don't think ETH is gone. I just want to trade into something that's, a similar use case, but is going to outperform it in a little while.
Well, I saw a real quick little article this morning. And what was interesting, I mean, thinking and talking about ETH and thinking, and I know we want to talk about NFTs in a bit.
No, that's fine.
Is that somebody was applauding this quite well written article about NFTs, and they didn't mention Ethereum once.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which is interesting.
How do you not mention Ethereum?
How do you not mention Ethereum?
I mean, that's the whole reason we have NFTs.
Right.
That's
exactly.
ridiculous.
But I think that's a normalization of it as a product category as well. It's like you don't need to know how Walmart gets its turkeys in the store. You kind of just go and interact.
You don't want to see how the sausage is made.
You do not.
Right?
I've seen how sausages are made. It's not fun.
I've made my own sausage before. It's good. I'm hoping to get a bear and make some bear sausage this spring.
Oh man, if you get one, can I get one for Mason? Because
some bear sausage?
Yeah.
He
eats anything.
Of course, man. Of course.
Wild and crazy.
So I'm on OpenSea right now. OpenSea is it's an exchange basically for NFTs. So you can buy, trade, sell, post, do all this kind of stuff for NFTs. A mutual acquaintance of ours posted his first NFT recently.
He did.
Yeah,
I think it's
Jonesy.
actually a pretty cool thing.
Let me
Jonesy artwork.
I gotta see if I can find it real quick. I could probably just post it in here.
You could just put Jonesy. I think it's with a Z, isn't it?
Is it?
It might be. It might be E. It might be JONEZY. I don't know. It's a good dude though.
Oh, there we go. Found it.
Jonesy art. There you go.
Jonesy art, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Did he post a bunch more? No. This isn't him.
This is not him.
That's not him. But anyways, we met him. You know, he decided that he was going to, get into the whole NFT space and posted his. Oh, here we go. That's it. Yes, Jonesy Artwork. So here's his first NFT. Pretty cool. I mean, he went through it on his own, was able to list it through OpenSea. It cost him like $60 some odd because of fees, which is
interesting.
Again,
I mean, his current price on that is pretty attractive for that. I think when he first posted it, I think it was listed at like $4,000, right?
Yeah.
That's
And it's a thing. Like, okay,
I might do him a solid and just buy that later.
Right. Well, you don't want to list it too low. Like, get your stuff out there.
But there's also an opportunity here because that's his first NFT. So now you're doubling up on who bought his first NFT.
Right.
If he then suddenly in 3-4 years becomes the most successful NFT artist on earth, then we started before the podcast talking about Jack Dorsey's tweet, which is currently bidding at $2.5 million.
Is ridiculous. So a tweet. So they made it into an NFT. Great. I love the concept. We talked about this yesterday with Jeremy. Like, there's a lot of use cases that can come out of NFTs, but it's so new. Everybody wants to make everything into an NFT. So you make a tweet into an NFT. Wait, what are you doing with that? I'm a use case person. Like, what's the use case of that?
So we can wax lyrical about that for a little bit because I've actually spent a lot of time thinking about this.
All right.
Obviously, right now, I think we're in that fuzzy little bubble thing. We're not really looking at long-term hardcore use cases. Like, for example, I can see press photography, huge, right? Something's going down in the world. You take a bunch of photographs, you turn them into NFTs, you pop them on an NFT market, the big news networks bid for it, pick up that photo, and then they're broadcasting it or they're using it, and they use that for it. The same is actually true, I think, of journalism.
In general?
Journalism and probably patents could potentially, or patent components could potentially.
I never thought about that, but that's a great one in the sense that, I mean, it's such a convoluted system already. Like, if you were able to NFT it, so basically it's just, I mean, making an NFT, you're putting it on the blockchain. So whatever that is, it can be a physical NFT as well. You're just putting it on the blockchain. So it's immutable. You can't change it. You can search it throughout history. It's a great use case. I like that one.
It's provable as well, which I think is a really huge
100%.
huge deal. And it comes with like little product licensing as well, like component licensing. So you want to use Velcro, for example, you still have to pay Velcro for the original patent of it. And so as you start to build, constructed products out of various bits, it's so easy for you to, instead of having to go through whatever the original licensing program is, you can just go onto the NFT licensing thing. Oh, I picked up this, I own it, here you go, know I've got it licensed, you got your money,
right?
And you can do it on a scalable basis as well. It's like when you buy what's it called, license-free photography or whatever, you have to tell them how many times you're going to publish it, how many times you're going to print it. Are you doing a print run of 2,500 or are you doing a print run of 2.5 million?
Yeah.
The price is different. But the blockchain can solve that problem through NFTs, where you just say, okay, well, every time it's used or whatever, it pings the contract.
It, and you get that.
Yeah.
That's great. I think that's a great use case. Is that
yours?
I don't own any CryptoPunks.
Did you make it?
Yes, I did. I am an incredible artist.
That's a side I've never seen. But.
No. Stick figures. I'll draw you a mean stick figure. That's about as far as I get. But
you should do it this afternoon. Turn it into an NFT, and I'll buy it.
Okay, done. I'll do it.
Okay.
Can you buy it with Shiba? Because that's all I accept.
That's all you accept is Shiba? Dude, I got a lot of Shiba. Happy to buy your stick figures in Shiba anytime you want.
Oh, man. I don't know. It's you
should look at the price action on Shiba, actually, just for shits and giggles.
See, can I get it on CoinGecko?
I don't even know if it's on there.
I'll look and see. If not, I'll go. Oh, there it is.
Shiba Inu. Still worth 0.
Let's see. All right. Let's go into...
It's never been worth more than 0.
Get the full chart on this guy. Look at that thing.
Still 0.
It's still 0, but I mean, it's a higher 0 than this 0.
It is,
if that's possible.
And it's climbing into higher zeros right now.
It is climbing. It's putting in a nice base. It's accumulating under resistance. I mean, if we look at that, I mean, it's in a buy zone.
I mean, really, all it needs to go is to 1/10 of a penny, and then
we're gajillionaires. I don't know how many do I own now. I think I have 12 billion.
Yeah, I have about 12 billion.
12 billion Shibas.
Actually, I have 12 billion because Michael McCarthy owes me 2 billion for a bet.
That's too funny. Yeah, that's worth $200, by the way, in case anybody's wondering.
The 12 billion.
The 12 billion is worth 200 actual
$10
US dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the CryptoPunks, I mean, that was and for me, this is the new CryptoKitties that kind of came through. The other big NFT that was going on is Top Shot, which is kind of cool. I like that idea. I like the idea of sports cards type of situation. And I talked this to Jeremy yesterday, but I was like, I was a big Garbage Pail Kid fan.
Oh, me too.
Well, they're out. They're NFT'd. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I almost
this is
went.
Going to be dangerous.
I tried to buy all of them, but you have to have a Wax account, and I don't even know how to get money onto Wax. I was looking. It's a really convoluted Hive blockchain or whatever. Man, they are just. It is horrible. Like the whole. There's.
Is it like back in like waves? Is it kind of like that? That's a.
I don't remember the wave side.
Well, I had a bunch of waves at one point, and I think it's having a little bit of a resurgence because it's been around a while.
Boomer coin.
Yes, it's a boomer coin, Nate. I don't know. You should check the price action on it. I know you want to talk some
actually
real,
waves
talk
looks
some real
good.
crypto, right?
Yeah, always. But I mean, when I look at like the Hive blockchain, I believe that's what it is. I'll have to pull it up. Let's see. Let's wave with Binance.
So this is when Nate says the same thing he says every time I pull a coin up. It's just like, oh, this looks good. I might buy some.
I don't know if I like this one. This looks horrible. This looks ugly. I think it's going to zero, just like all of crypto.
Yeah.
No,
it's not doing very well. I can see that.
I tried to buy all of them. I wanted to buy all of the Garbage Pail Kid NFTs.
Right.
But I lost interest in trying to get the Wax coin onto the program and where do I get it and that whole situation. I was like, I have too many other things going on.
Isn't your birthday coming up?
Yeah, in October, so no.
Oh.
Let's see here. So I pulled this up yesterday, so it should be right at the very top. So yes, Garbage Pail Kids are on the blockchain.
Yeah, and in fact, actually, so this is interesting because, when you look at these emerging kind of technologies and markets, I did read an article that Panini is getting into the NFT market.
Panini, like the restaurant? The bread?
No, Panini was a collectible stickers company back in the 80s. And we used to, back in England, it would be like soccer players. And you'd have to collect the stickers. It's literally just like Pokemon cards, except they were stickers, and you get the book at the beginning of the season, and you'd have to put all of those. Yeah, Panini America. Where's Panini? Obviously Europe.
Okay.
Yeah. So
blockchain.
There you go.
Look at that. There we go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Do that public auctions. See what's up there.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at like what do you got here? So this is Troy Aikman, huh?
But I mean, I think the point here is that Panini are an old, established business that have absolutely seen the value of NFTs because they cross over very well with their existing business.
Collectibles are huge, right? And if you can make it so you can't forge it, right? Which being an NFT on the blockchain, you can't forge that.
Right.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Like it. Interesting.
And I think that anti-forgery thing is the store of value, right? It's back in the you want to buy a Ming vase, I can buy 10 Ming vases, but only one of them is going to be the real Ming vase. And somehow, some way, somebody needs to come and tell me it's authentic. Blockchain takes all of that effort out of it and says, I can 100% scan that and say, boom, that's the original.
That is interesting. I noticed that you can only bid in US dollars. There's no crypto, so they're not doing it. They're on the blockchain.
Right, but look who's their target market. That's the thing. Is like, especially on sports cards, it's not. The back end of this is all blockchain, but realistically, they're reaching out to an existing market and saying, "Hey, you've been buying our cards for years, or you stopped buying these cards 15 years ago, but you still love them. Yeah, here's a way to have it just on a computer.
Right, exactly.
Give us your money."
Yeah, I mean, before I even knew what an NFT was, I used to be a big baseball card collector, and I was like, oh man, this would be a really great idea to have a whole system that was, had them on the computer, so I didn't have to go. I mean, I could buy them if I wanted to, or sell mine. It was a much easier system, and lo and behold, here we go. There it is.
I mean, trading cards and collectibles are still a big deal. I happened to end up in Target first thing in the morning a few months ago, and there's this line of kids, and they weren't even really kids, they were late teens, early 20s, and they're all standing there and they're waiting for something, and the manager comes back out and he says, "Oh no, they didn't come." And I was like, "What are they waiting for?" And they were waiting for their latest delivery of some kind of, I think it was Magic the Gathering or something, some kind of card game. But they're all, dedicated enough to be up at Target at 8 o'clock in the morning. So,
well, there you go.
There's value there.
If people want to buy it, that's where the value's at, right? That's what gives anything value. If somebody wants it,
oh, look at that, Waves is going up.
Actually, I would say that there might be some potential here. I'm a little leery on anything right now non-Bitcoin. Only because, there's still some room, I think, for some alts in the short term. We've had Bitcoin did a nice little jump up to the 54,154. This is a daily close on this
up
side
6.3% in 24 hours.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It's great. Doing a little consolidation here. I would, in a normal market, I would imagine it coming back down here to retest, and continue this trend line over, but we're not in a normal market. So
you could also redraw your line there and ignore.
Well, this guy, I never redraw lines. One line only, ever.
Well, that's 4 on there.
But
makes no sense.
None whatsoever.
Go buy Bitcoin.
Go buy Bitcoin. But I think what we're going to see is Bitcoin do another run here in the next few weeks, and for that, I kind of put aside a lot of my altcoins that I'm in. Although I am in FET and in Engine, so I caught quite a bit of the FET. Somebody else. I didn't even post it. I'm such a jerk. So let's see here. So you posted FET, which was a great call. I looked at that, and yes, okay. Again, it looked amazing. You had a nice little double bottom down here, rounded double bottom, a lot of accumulation, and it was consolidating right under this support line that was or this resistance line on here, and I got in, so it's sitting in a nice little profit. That was a great call. I'm riding that one for a while though.
Right, and I would, and the reason I say that is because I think that they actually again, going back to what do these things do? Are they just a speculative money makers? Maybe, maybe not.
Right.
The fetch is about artificial intelligence on the blockchain, and that's another great use for blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they have a good team, and they're I personally will hold FET for a while, I think.
Yeah, I think you got 1,148 sats is going to be your next little resistance that it's going to come into, and then once it breaks to that, you're going to see it rock and roll. It's going to be a good one. I got that one, and then Engine, obviously, you've talked about that one for a long time.
Oh yeah, that's a boomer coin.
That's a boomer coin.
Well, it's a boomer coin that's very similar to a GALA in many ways. GALA. It's not a fast follow by any means because they're very innovative in their own right, but Engine is, it was designed as a gaming coin and a gaming coin wallet infrastructure, and it's been around for a while, and I've definitely made money on Engine a few times.
Yeah, but I got in on that one for a nice little run. I think I was back when it was sitting underneath this zone in here, so somewhere in that area, it's again sitting in a nice profit. It's got a lot of hype going behind it. I'm gonna ride that one for a little while. So those are the only two real altcoins that I'm sitting in outside.
Is that because did they do a deal with Microsoft? Was that what it was?
You see those things all the time, and is it really a deal, or are they just running on a Microsoft?
Well,
Office?
Engine's been around.
It
could be.
It's like, I'm using them.
So we use Outlook at work. So
yeah, we have a deal with
Microsoft.
Exactly.
We pay them money. No, I really think that I did see something, and it has to. Obviously, Microsoft have actually themselves come out, and gaming is big for them. And so blockchain partners like Engine, who've been around, been around for 3-4 years, I could criticize Engine's delivery reasonably for a while. I hate their wallet, but I think that even though they're going to make some real strides and do get those big top tier partners, then the coin itself will be great. And I think they'll probably end up stripping down their collaborative.
Yeah.
At one point, they wanted every single coin to be tradable, and in
right.
Engine wallet, it doesn't work.
No.
You need to vet them and have a little QC and say.
And I think that's the when you look at a difference between them and GALA, they are the blockchain side, like 100% the blockchain side. And then when you look at GALA, they're the gaming side. I mean, they're hiring top end game developers You know, that's what they're wanting to do. They're wanting to build the games.
Yep.
And then that'll bring it to the GALA ecosystem.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, they got a lot of other cool ass stuff that's going on inside their blockchain, you know, that they're going to use. But they're a gaming company, man. Like they're going to throw some pretty sweet ass games. I'm excited about their tower defense game. Oh yeah, bro. I told Eric, I was like, hey, you will take all of my GALA if you build a tower defense game.
And he said,
he's like, oh, we have one on the books. I was like, great. Now I'm going to spend all my GALA.
well, you got plenty of time to make more, so before it actually launches, right?
Try my best. We'll see.
I'm just looking at your list there. I wanted to see what
Where you
else
got?
was in it. Well, Curve was the other one. So Curve. I've been watching that one for a while, and I've been working with Shrimpy here for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And setting out, like, you can make your own like index fund on there,
right?
Or you can strip it down to, like, currently I have an 80-20 split on my KuCoin account being run by Shrimpy, and it's 20% Curve and 80% FET, and it's just going.
Maybe I should do that on. Maybe that I got into Shrimpy, but I was like, I don't know what account I want to use this for. Maybe I'll use it for my KuCoin account. That's a great idea.
Or you can set up a new KuCoin account and just use Shrimpy on that, which is what I do. I've got a couple of KuCoin accounts.
It's too many. I got too many accounts, man. It's like trying to just too much. That's why I'm like trying to narrow down everything, because I've noticed.
What I like about Shrimpy is you know, it sits there, it trades it out for you,
right.
Stop loss, and you're in control of mostly everything. You set what you want to do, and you don't have to think about it.
I'm gonna try it out. I will try it out this week with my KuCoin account, because that's one that I just kind of like buy shit coins and I'm like, okay, I'll leave them there, like whatever. Everything else I manage. You know, I'm managing it, and that's why I want less, because I don't want to be a day trader. I don't want to sit here and you know, do 50 trades a day to try and get that extra 10% on something. I'm looking for, you know, I might do 50 trades in a quarter or a month if it's really hot. If there's a lot of stuff going on, is my goal.
I think you said something great a couple of weeks ago to me, which was like, I'm only buying coins with which I have 100% conviction.
Yeah.
It's like, do I believe in this coin,
right,
what this is going to do, and how it's going to change,
right,
you know, some form of the
100%
world's infrastructure.
And that's, and you know, and I'm going to still trade it, but that for me gives me a little bit more peace of mind of I can walk away for, you know, a weekend or a couple weeks and go hunting and not have to worry about it just taking a giant dump because the founders, they got a rug pull and they just took all the money out, you know.
Totally. And you know, it shouldn't be, it sends you an email as soon as your stop loss gets triggered, and in that email there's a link, you can start the automation again.
All right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna look into it a little bit more, and I'm gonna use my KuCoin account.
It was very easy to get set up. It took me about an hour to get it running.
I had an account. I used your link just so I could get you the whatever. You get $1 million for that.
Oh, right? It wasn't $1 million. I think it was 30, but or something. But no, it's actually staggered. That's what it is. It's like it depends on how many times you pay, how many months you pay for the
gotcha.
For the pro account.
Okay. So yeah, I'll check into that. That one's very interesting to me. So, I'm just looking at a couple different things. So we're talking about gamer coins because I got to show Gala's taking a nice little dump on us here, which is good. I have some buys in down here, so we'll see if it hits. Nobody listens to this, so I'm not worried about anybody front running me. So I say that and watch, it's all gonna be front run by some rando.
I'm doing it now.
So, but we got to expect this with Gala, right? Yeah. I mean, it's, you know,
the overall trend is exactly how we all hoped and predicted it would be.
100%, man. I mean, it's got a long way to go. They got so much stuff coming out. I talked about it with Jeremy a little bit yesterday, but I mean, I don't know how much of the GalaCon you looked into. Like, did you watch it?
As I would like to have.
Yeah, and I've gone back through a bunch of it.
I got the cliff notes from Michael.
Yeah, I mean, there's a nice connection there. So, but there's some cool stuff, man. A lot of games coming out. They've got 8 games on the docket, I think. They're going to start releasing some NFTs for the tower defense game, which nice thing about those, that's going to be a game that'll be released sooner rather than later.
I made money on Miranda's NFTs. I bought them when they first came out, the day the first ones came out, sold them on OpenSea.
Yeah.
Made a bunch of money. I'm actually watching BNB right now on your chart.
Is it crushing? Oh, I like BNB, man. It had a nice little jump.
12.6% in 24 hours.
Yeah, between it and Cake, they're, you know, doing a nice little run, and again, like I said, I believe in the fact that BNB is going to show more percent gain in the short term, and I say short term, like the next 6 months,
So
depending on when ETH can
originally-
fix their stuff.
Right, and originally, and this may have changed, I was under the impression that BNB was burned when it was spent.
It is.
It is? It is still
Well,
burned?
not when it's spent. They do a burn every quarter, I think.
Oh, they do quarterly burns now, because
Right.
originally I think when Binance launched, they were burning every time you paid your fee in BNB, that BNB was gone. It was burned.
I think they do a quarterly burn now. So let me see.
There you go, burn schedule, 14th BNB burn.
So October, December 20th, they burned 3,619,000.
It's equivalent to $165 million, or $167
Yeah.
million, which
Yeah.
is what they made.
So every quarter they're burning. So they'll do another one probably the end of this month, beginning of next month, I'm assuming. So for the next BNB burn, which I didn't looked at that either, but I wonder if there's a correlation with if I do a can I do a 3 month? Yeah. BNB. Let's go BNB. I think we can get a longer. No. So I don't know. I was seeing if there's a correlation with the BNB burn
Right.
and then the uptick in price. So obviously that was a big uptick. So, but that was a lot of everybody's hating on ETH. So
Right. Oh, they're not hating on it that much because it also went up $300 over the weekend. So
yeah, but I mean, when I look at ETH, let me pull up ETH.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
so disappointed. I've been bullish ETH because of everything, but they've been hit hard with what they're bringing to the table, and the fact that their fees are so unbelievable. Let me just remove all this stuff here. So this is a weekly. I mean, I've been watching this thing just like I thought we were gonna hit 2,000 way earlier than we did. I mean, this looks nice and bullish. This looks. I mean, last week was a great candle, but that was a great candle for everything, right? ETH led the way over the weekend. Bitcoin kind of following it this time. I mean, I'd love to see. I have a good holding in ETH. I love ETH still. It's huge part of the ecosystem. I just feel like it's lagging in the gain percentage. So we'll see. I like it. It just like I said, a little bit heavier in BNB than I am in ETH right now. So
but it kind of still has that. We want to talk about legacy crypto markets. We can maybe call them that. It's
no, I like boomer coins better.
well, what happens, I think, is like the big ones, like ETH and BTC. Obviously, there's a few others that I could name out there. Actually, do the market cap on there. Yeah. So Cardano's one, maybe.
Well, they've had
XRP for sure. Litecoin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
As
Litecoin.
that C rises, they've
Stellar
been around
Lumens.
so long. They're gonna.
Yep.
They're gonna rise more. NEM, God, that's been around for a while.
It's been around for a while. I know. How's it still around? That's
Look
an
at that.
interesting one.
Look at VeChain.
VeChain.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's. I mean, if you did that,
Well, it's got
6
a nice.
months ago, it would not be in that top 25.
No, I
wouldn't
mean
be
it's had a
pretty-
30% pump in the last 7 days, so
No,
that's
no,
pretty good.
I also called it on the Discord like 3 months
You
ago.
did? You
Yeah.
did? You've called a few. You're like, I'm going on a boomer coin rant.
Mhm.
It's like,
VeChain, well, OneChain as well. OneChain's been crushing recently.
am I missing it? Where's it at?
It's not up in there yet.
I know. I looked at it. I tried it for you. I liked Juan. I should have got into
Mhm.
Juan, but I don't think I did. Let's look at it over here.
Well, we looked at One and WTC last time, but One has been doing just fine.
Yeah, it's sitting in a little accumulation pattern. Probably a good time to buy. Everything's a good time to buy.
I bought down on that little blue one. Right at the
I remember
bottom
you
there.
did.
Yeah.
You were like, I'm getting in right now, and you bought a lot.
I bought a substantial amount of One. I like One. One's been around for a
That's
while.
been around for a long time. So, yeah, it's got a lot of room to grow too. Is it? I mean, is that the Korean Ethereum? Isn't that what Juan was?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, but
Look at that.
not too bad.
Not too bad.
Well, let's see. We've been on here for about an hour.
Yep.
Close to it. Probably end it now. I know we could talk about a lot of other things.
We could, and obviously, we could talk about lots of things. I mean, every time I look at these, I'm seeing something else that's super interesting, and I want to talk about it. But we can do another one later. We didn't really talk about Curve because
Well, let's go back to Curve.
because I can remember losing a lot of money on a DAO. right at the very beginning. I put a bunch of money into a DAO. I think it was capped at like $100 million, and then it was that classic rug pull, just disappeared.
Right.
But I think that and have you ever been on Curve's actual DAO site?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so old school looking, but new school looking. It's like retro feel to its very weird site. And if you can't, it takes a lot to navigate through it. But you go to that DAO Curve Fi.
Yeah.
See this?
Oh,
it was like 1984. But it's by design, that's the thing. It really is by design. They wanted it to look like this. And
No, I've been on here before. I mean, it's the Curve ecosystem is nice. I mean, there's a lot of staking out, with the Curve coin I enjoy. I'm heavy Curve actually right now. So, and not because PayPal bought them, which they didn't.
Okay. Well, that's good.
PayPal bought a different Curve.
Right.
So it was an Israel company. Curve. Some weird one. I don't even know. But it wasn't this Curve. But this Curve's got actual use cases. They're
For sure.
They're great in the DeFi side. Their DAO. I mean, it's a good coin. And I think we see some pretty.
If anybody doesn't know what a DAO is, it's a decentralized autonomous organization.
Yes.
Right? So basically, it's like a fund that is managed by the fund holders on a voting principle. So
on the blockchain.
On the blockchain.
Which is actually a really great idea. I think in a lot of different aspects in real estate, in business, like you could start a DAO for a business that is, you don't want just however many partners. You don't want to set it and put it on the.
Well, there's also, I mean, we could go back to collusion. Like DAO functionality on the blockchain is a really great way to subvert collusive practices for big businesses.
Yeah, for sure.
Like taxis, for example, huge, historically very collusive business where taxis set their rates between companies. It wasn't perfectly competitive. It was sort of an oligarchy almost.
Yeah.
And you could do a lot of that using DAOs.
Yeah.
Just leveraging the meta-mind through voting. And
they were trying to set up a DAO through GALA with some of the members to buy. They were going to buy the vaults, but I bought them all. And then I only bought two. But then the Citadel, they're like, oh, let's start a DAO for the Citadel, which is a great idea. Like, I mean,
I think that's a fantastic idea, and I think actually it's probably what GALA really needs.
I think they might be.
Okay,
they might be working on that. Maybe.
I think that's a phenomenal way to,
why not?
to protect to protect one of the six.
Yes.
As the Citadel of the people almost, and have it just be completely voted on by everybody who staked a little bit in there.
I think it's a great idea. I think the last Citadel standing should be the Citadel for the people,
and can only be purchased by a DAO, by an autonomous DAO.
100%. I think it's a fantastic idea.
I
mean, they were trying to do that. That's
you have more time than me. You can make that happen.
That's their whole concept of the their gaming side. Anyways, they want to give it back to the people, right? To the gamers.
And what a great way to do it. Do it in spades. The last set.
They might not be able to because of the whole SEC side. So I think I know they've been talking with. There's a group of people that are.
Well, there's also it's straight auction. So if the DAO doesn't raise enough money to bid to buy it, then it could be purchased by an individual, and that's I think the only way they can do it because it's an NFT.
Right. But then you can ultimately that individual could set it up as the DAO.
Right, and I think we talked about that offline a couple of times about setting up DAOs to do all sorts of stuff. I mean, I'd like to look around Salem, look around Oregon, and see where are the opportunities for DAO management. Look at B&B is still crushing. It's just, I think I'm looking at that ticker and I'm thinking, well, I can see it looks a lot like GameStop, weirdly enough.
No, I'm hoping we see 500 by the end of the month for B&B.
For B&B.
I mean, that's
I have some, so I'll be happy if that plays out. And we should probably end by saying GameStop is at 242.
Oh, look at you! All right. Well, hey, thank you for joining us. We'll talk again.
We will.
Yep, and we'll see you later.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.